My favorite cold open is episode 7, the story of Tigraine Mantir, Aiel warrior, and mother of the Dragon Reborn. Her baby will change the fate of the world. It's something you don't get to see in the books. So we wanted to show that the dragon comes from a woman who's a fucking beast. Our director of episode 7 and 8, Kieran Donnelly, when we talked about this fight scene, he immediately was like, I need a bolt. And we were like, what is a bolt?
The bolt arm is this robot. It's a robot that you put a camera on, and it just allows us to get a camera from here to there like incredibly quickly, like in a half a second. But when you do a camera move that is that quick, but put a special camera called a phantom camera on it, which can run incredibly high frame rates, which gives you this very beautiful slow motion, it makes a fight sequence kind of beautiful. There's a whole choreography that goes around that because it's a robot, and if it's moving 6 feet in a second, anything that's in its way will be knocked out. So it takes a lot of precision from the stunt performers and incredible stunt coordination and choreography by Jan Petrina and his team. You don't get Bolt on TV shows. It's the first show I've convinced to go down this road. So hats off to Wheel of Time for being brave enough to do this, but it'll absolutely pay off.
When we did the choreography for that fight scene, the key was we always wanted it to feel real. So we built this entire sequence around this incredible stunt actress that we met in Prague. And she's just this incredible woman, Magdalena, with red hair. And she just gives so much performance. And we were like, this is Rand's mom.
Magdalena, who plays Tigraine, is pretty extraordinary, it has to be said, because we spent, I think, 5 days shooting this fight sequence, and it's extraordinarily physically challenging.
We were shooting from morning till evening, so it was really intense. I don't know if I was that tired in my life.
But the thing I was always reminding her of, and myself of, is we need to see her pain and her emotionality. We need to see what's in her eyes, because her quest right now is to have this child. And by the time you've done all that, then the audience hopefully is like literally on the edge of their seats, wondering why they're crying at this fight.
The Ways is such an iconic sequence in the books, and it was something I knew we needed to bring to life in the show. It's a huge production difficulty because we're creating a whole new world.
In the book, it is a world of pitch blackness with sort of chasms opening up beneath your feet.
The description of the Ways was that it's a pitch black. You don't see anything, which doesn't sound so nice on a movie, because you want to see something.
I think the big challenge with The Ways was how to build it in such a way and to be able to shoot it in such a way that it wasn't a 12-minute CG scene.
So we started thinking about using some natural caves, but the problem is that they look like a natural cave and the vase was actually built. So it's really important to have an element of something which was built. And the key inspiration came with the giant causeway in Northern Ireland. So I was thinking, okay, maybe they create the path from these basalt stones. I have to be a little bit pragmatic, so we said okay, let's do the platforms on the wheels, which we can change the structure, so we can create different setups, make the wider platform, narrower platform, whatever we want, because we will use that advantage of the hexagons being able to connect it together.
Did it just get a lot colder in here? Oh dear.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to channel.
What is Machin Shin?
The Machin Shin, the black wind, the kind of destroyer of souls, appears and it rushes like a cyclone through the Ways, and it can be completely soul-destroying.
This is the place where all of our characters have to confront the darkest side of themselves.
You can't protect her. You'll watch her die.
The set that they built was just unreal. Probably 60, 70 yards long. And they brought in the fog machines and the wind machines and lights hanging from the top of the stage that would just bang this lightning in and this thunder. And so there wasn't really much acting required. It was brutal. But it's a really fantastic sequence.
You wanted Layla dead. Out of the world. That's why you killed her.
So there's a physicality to it, but there's really a psycho element to it. And even for Moraine, it's like it's really disturbing.
You'll murder these children and call it heroism.
I think the extraordinary thing about it from an actor's point of view there is the performances. So when you see the Ways sequence, and they're all in that pain, that pain should feel very real.
The air in these borderlands, there's something about it. The smell. It reminds me of the night we met.
It's unlike you to dwell on the past.
It's a really powerful scene, Moiraine saying goodbye to Lan before they go to the Eye because they might die.
Aren't there goodbyes you need to make in this city before we go?
And if you think about that relationship through the course of the series, that's a really big moment. My process in terms of directing actors is I try not to overcomplicate things for them. And I think ultimately we're just always looking for truthful moments for the characters and ways for actors to generate those truthful moments. And this moment just evolved naturally where she's just left on her own. I just left the camera rolling and I thought, this is one moment we could see Moiraine the way none of the other characters see her.
She's kind of on a suicide mission, Moraine. She knows that when she delivers Rand to the Dark One, she will be obliterated in the battle that ensues. And she's prepared to sacrifice herself for the cause that she's worked on for the last 20 years.
Or we must our bond.
And it's why she masks her bond with Land and leaves him behind, because she knows that whoever comes between the Dark One and the dragon will die.
Now we're going into the end game. The stakes are real here, and not all of our characters are going to make it.
What is that?
The Blight.
Whoa, oh my god! I see the
See you later. We have to try everything.
Hello.
this for later.
I don't care about the show. I just want a good blooper reel.
I want to learn science.
You guys are gonna make me look like I'm in the show, right? You're gonna put in the effects. Replace the green. I don't want to look like an asshole here.
Sorry.